Sakura's shattered reflection. The world felt like it was painted in shades of pink and gold. For Sakura, every afternoon with Shinji was a scene from a dream. They spent hours at the local cafe, sharing stories and making plans for a future that seemed bright and infinite. They were a perfect match, even when their competitive spirits flared at the arcade. Shinji would laugh as Sakura's fingers flew across the buttons of the fighting games, her competitive fire matching the warmth in his eyes. One evening, after they had parted ways, Sakura realized she had left her purse in the classroom. She hurried back to the quiet, twilight-soaked school, her heart light and her mind still filled with the melody of Shinji's laughter. But as she approached the heavy iron gates, the melody died. There, under the shadow of the brick pillars, Shinji wasn't alone. He was holding someone else, someone Sakura knew better than anyone. Reiko's spectacles caught the fading light as she leaned into him. The purse slipped from Sakura's hand, hitting the pavement with a hollow thud. The world didn't just stop, it shattered. Her best friend and her boyfriend were locked in a betrayal that burned brighter than the sunset. She didn't stay to hear an explanation. She didn't want to see their faces turn toward her in guilt. Sakura ran until her lungs burned, and the sky began to weep with her, the cold rain soaking through her white sailor uniform. Home was no longer a sanctuary, just a cage. Sakura slammed her bedroom door and slid to the floor, the click of the lock echoing the snapping of her heart. The red ribbon in her hair felt like a weight, a reminder of a girl who no longer existed. Her phone was a relentless beast, buzzing and glowing on the floor. Name after name flashed on the screen. Shinji, Reiko, Shinji again. She watched the light fade to black, over and over, refusing to let their voices touch her ears. Days blurred into a haze of shadow. To numb the sharp edges of the memory, Sakura reached for things she shouldn't have touched, desperate to forget the faces of the people who broke her. The room grew cluttered with the wreckage of her isolation and her growing despair. When she finally looked in the mirror, the pink in her eyes had hardened like cooling glass. The innocence she had worn so easily was gone, replaced by a cold, jagged resolve. Sakura was no longer the girl who believed in fairy tales.